Good morning and welcome back to Miniature Monday here on Gaming with ADHD, where today we're going to continue our look at the Gale Force 9 HexTech 6mm battlefield terrain. Now, this was originally designed by Thunderhead Studios for use with Battletech. It was originally offered as STL files for use with 3D printers, and they have since partnered with Gale Force 9 to actually make resin cast pre-painted versions of the terrain. So today what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the Gale Force 9 versions of the model. I'll let you know what I think about them, and just kind of do an overview on what you get in the package. Now today we're going to be looking at the Condo set. This is a set of 2 buildings for use with, honestly, any 6mm, or you could probably go 8 or 10mm figures like Legions Imperialis from Games Workshop. But essentially you're going for very, very small scale battles. But before we get into the actual review, do make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I try to cover a few videos each week, whether it's pre-recorded or live streams, covering all sorts of tabletop gaming content, and I'd love for you to come along and see what we have to share. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at these buildings. All right, so in this package, like I said, you do get 2 buildings. They are the exact same design, but they actually do give you 2 different paint jobs, sort of a sand brown and a gray building. Now, overall, these are okay. The design is fine. I have no issues with the design. The buildings, if you remember from my review of the Justice Tower, here on the base, the gap that for the slot that they sit in was quite large. This one, it's still bigger than I would like, but it's a lot less noticeable than it was on the Justice Tower. So you still get the detailing, like the air conditioning units and piping and whatnot on the roof, and it is still painted. Now, looking over these, I'll be honest, I was a little less impressed with the paint job that they did on these buildings. You can see, actually, let me zoom in a little bit. You can see where, little pieces didn't quite get painted. In this case, the paint is really thin. Let me grab a pointing tool, like a paintbrush. We've got some sloppier bits of painting on these sections. I mean, honestly, from arm's length, you're not necessarily going to notice, but looking at this and trying to look closely, it does show up quite a bit where the quality of the paint job is a little lacking. Now, I do like that there is a little bit of a white dry brush texture across both models. So like here on the gray one, you still have that same problem. The paint does look a little thin or a little sloppy in some cases. On this building, this I was actually really disappointed with, seeing this damage here. This came out of the box as is. They're fully wrapped up in bubble wrap, so my guess is that the damage occurred prior to shipping. Which, I'll be honest, I mean, I've done some production in the past. I totally understand not wanting to lose an entire production run because they probably make the buildings in pairs, so you want to get all of them out. But this was clearly done after the paint was applied. So it would have at least been nice if the factory had gone back during a QA check and said, "Hey, we need to touch this up so it looks a little better." Uh, you can even clearly see just there's some damage and um, deformation of this particular section um, as compared to the mirrored other side. So um, honestly, it's a little disappointing. I can forgive a lot. I'm not going to write to the company and say I need a replacement. How dare you? Um, just because that's not. Again, I don't think it's significant enough. Say the building was broken in half, then yes, I would absolutely be contacting them. But a little bit of damage like this, uh, I'm willing to tolerate. But that's just me. Obviously, your mileage may vary. So, other than that, they do have the felt on the base so that way it doesn't damage. Like if you're just playing on the kitchen table, this is not going to damage it if you're just placing it directly on the table. Although, obviously if you're throwing the building at the table, it's definitely going to do some damage. The base, again, is sort of this stiff, rubberized material. It will flex a little bit, as you can see, but you don't want to put too much pressure on it because it definitely would get permanently damaged. Other than that, the building does stand a little bit under 3 inches tall, which, if we compare that to a battle mech, basically makes it about a level 3 building. Remember, battle mechs are technically 2 levels high, so this particular building is going to come in at about 3 levels, depending on how you want to play the game. Other than that, these look perfectly fine, perfectly serviceable. I only picked up one package of these. I'm actually looking. I have the 3D printer files, although I have not printed them out yet. But I am actually looking at printing some extras, and then just painting them even different. So that way I have some more of these buildings. So overall, um, I'm gonna I'm going to say that with better paint and no damage, I would be much happier with the set of condo buildings. Um, Again, for the price that I got them for, because I did pick them up on clearance at a particular retailer that I found. Um, because I got them on clearance, I'm really not going to complain too much about the price. They normally retail for $35, and essentially I got them about half that. So for that much, I'm willing to forgive quite a bit more. But the fact that it's a nice, solid construction, it's a solid block of resin. Outside of the damage that I pointed out, not a whole lot of flaws like we saw in the Justice Tower, but the paint definitely could have been applied better, and just a little bit more care and attention to detail in how the paint was being applied. That it wasn't being applied too thin, things like that. So unfortunately, this one is probably, well, technically this is only the second one that I've looked at so far, but definitely not as impressed with the condos as I was with the Justice Tower. So with that said, I hope you found the review useful. If you did, please do give the video a thumbs up, and like I said, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I do have the rest of Wave 1, so I will be covering that as it comes out. I have the rest of the buildings. I did not pick up the hills. So, stay tuned, and I will get those reviews out over the next few weeks. But other than that, Don't forget, down below there will be affiliate links where if you want to help out the channel, that would be much appreciated, but it's never expected. So thank you so much for watching. Absolutely do appreciate it, and have a great day.